So here's a problem we've noticed. A lot of the people I've met, and a lot of people here as well, are willing to volunteer to charity. But not many of them actually do. So to take a look at the 60 that we interviewed at this Startup Weekend, only 5% said that they were regular volunteers. 5% of the 60 that we met. And these are entrepreneurs. So you can imagine how that can scale to the whole of Bahrain or even the region. Compare that to 30% of the US population that are regular volunteers. And volunteering in the US accounts for 5% of their GDP, and that's massive. So what's our solution to this? We call it Charitime. And here's how it works. You get an idea for something you want done. Let's say, for example, I have a document that I want to get translated into Japanese. And I'm willing to pay 20 BD to the person that gets it done for me, or 30. I post it on the Charitime website. Volunteers go to the website, they see a list of all of the projects, and let's say we pick someone out that knows Japanese. He says, hey, I know Japanese, I'll work on that project. So he goes, he gets the project, he talks to the project owner, says, all right, let's get this done. He works on the project, he gets it done, and now the fun part. The project owner pays their money to Charitime, and Charitime routes its funds to whichever charity the volunteer picks. Whichever charity. In this case, he's picking Think Bahrain. So just to sum it up, time gets converted to money, and money gets applied to a cause. Simple. Here's how it works. We've actually got a demo that we're going to show you right now. If it's quick, we're running out of time here. Alright, here's the website. First of all, I'd just like a round of applause to our lead designer. Oh, someone just volunteered their time. Alright, let's go down. Click on the volunteers. Let's take a look at what a volunteer would see when they first log on to the website. Alright. We're at the telco. Alright, so here's the profile. You get your user stats, what your reputation is like on the website, how many hours you've volunteered, how much money you've raised. This guy's raised $23,000, and how many causes you've supported. That's massive. Go back to the presentation, please. There's also a page for projects as well, so if you're a project owner, you can track those. So a bit about our business model. How do we make money? We're not looking for profitability, we're looking for sustainability. We're a non-profit. 10% of your project funds goes to us. It covers all our costs, salaries, and everything else. Compare that to other charities in the world, that is world-class ranking. Why just 10%? Well, guess what? Over the course of this weekend, we've talked to mentors, entrepreneurs, and other support personnel, and they've pledged support to our cause. They've pledged hosting space, and they've pledged funds to get us going. So our setup costs are nil. Operational costs, you've got hosting, you've got part-time staff, and that's going to cost 200 dinars per month. But that only happens when you've got enough volume. So initially, we can launch with zero costs, and over a period of time, we're going to have to either add more heads and possibly upgrade our infrastructure, as expected. So our rollout strategy, we've already got 10 projects. We've got 10 people that are willing to pay for services. And we talked to 60 people at this startup weekend. 59 said that they were interested in participating as volunteers. These are 59 developers, professionals, and tech experts. When you finish a project, you get to show off to all your friends on Facebook, Twitter. It's viral. Validation, we talked to 60 people. So here's the bottom line. We see the need, we have a prototype, and we are on fire. One question remains. Are you feeling charitable today? Thank you very much.
Nice presentation. I just have a very simple question. You knew the kind of theme for this startup weekend, mostly the commercial ideas will be pitched in, the profitability businesses will be discussed. what drove you to pitch in a social initiative idea? What was the driving force behind? I am interested in knowing that, despite knowing that the theme is going on the other side.
Well, personally, one of the best things I found is that Startup Weekend supports not just for-profit but also non-profit projects as well, and that really drove us. I mean, there are not a lot of forums that support non-profits. But I mean, let's just face it. You tell a VC you've got a non-profit, and you're probably not going to get very far. So this was a forum that we wanted to milk, basically. And also the recent events that have been happening across the world. You know, you've got droughts, you've got world poverty, hunger. You know, the Arab people are very giving people, and it's just painful to see how, you know, a lot of people are willing to help. They tell you they're willing to help, but they just don't do it for one reason or the other. We want to make it accessible. We want to make it very easy to get good work done.
I have two small questions. One is, you mentioned 5% of the people that you've interviewed or that you've assessed do actually commit to charitable activities. Have you done any assessment on why is it only 5% of this part of the world? And my second question is related to collection. In what manner how are you going to collect the funds so that you can then transfer? Have you given a thought about the collection or website?
All right, first question, 5%. 5% of the respondents said that they were regular volunteers. When I asked the question to everyone, you know, why is it just, you know, why do you not volunteer? The overwhelming majority told me that it's just not accessible. It's not in your face. It's not easy to do. You know, I personally encountered this myself. You know, I wanted to do some volunteering as part of our corporate social responsibility at General Electric. So I spoke to a few volunteering agencies within Bahrain, and to volunteer, you need several hours a day. One of the organizations I applied for was in Bahrain, and you basically teach classes weekly to school students. Now the problem is, it takes you an hour to get there, and then 2 hours to pitch, present, teach, and then an hour to get back. That's 4 hours from a working day gone. That's not easy. And the second question you had was around payments. And basically, it's electronic payments. Payments from the project host will be transferred electronically to Charitime. Charitime will act as an escrow, and then once the job is accepted by both parties, the full payment amount is applied to the charity, less the 10% that we apply to our operating costs.
I have a question here. Thank you all for the presentation. Since we're talking about money collection, I'm interested to know what are the major steps that you will conduct in order to build a trust among this website. How you will really enhance the brand perception to make it a trustworthy website?
That's an excellent question, and I don't think this will fly. I don't think this will lift off the ground without trust. And you know, the way we plan to attract this is, first of all, get the best people working on the projects. That's why, you know, we put a lot of attention to tracking your reputation on the site. You know, this isn't just about, you know, getting people to do shabby work just to get the funds to the people that need it. We want to get high quality work, you know, in return for the funds that project owners will be pledging. The second thing is transparency. Now, when we get funds, people basically get to pick which charities the funds go to. Now, what we're going to push is, when we go to the charities and pledge those funds, and we say, let's say, I mean, pick any charity, the Manama Charity Fund, you know, we're going to give them 1,000 dinars. We're not just going to go in and tell them, all right, here's 1,000 dinars, buy. We're going to say, here's 1,000 dinars, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with these funds? Now, they're going to have to give us a plan, they're going to have to give us proof that these funds are properly allocated. And we're going to take that proof and share it with everyone that donated to be able to tell people, to be able to close this cycle. You know, at this point, you put money in a charity box and you have no idea where that money is going. We aim to close the cycle.